Hello, our team is conformed by Fabio Soto, José Rubio, and me, Javier Morales, and we are going to present Visual Design Part 2. Typography is very important in visual design. The main goal of typography is to make the text easily to read. This can be achieved by managing the size of the letter so it could be easily be read, by checking the legibility and resolution of the letter and the font. Also, it's important to define the position of the text by its importance in the screen.
Okay, so color is a vital resource in an app's design. The use of color comprises headings, text, buttons, backgrounds, and many other elements that make up the interface. So there is a very important element for designing an app, and it is divided in reserved colors, that is because they have connotations that can be avoided. They are certain colors that must be used cautiously. They are referred to as reserved colors, and their use should be limited especially to those listed below. For example, the color red is used for errors and important alerts. The the yellow is for warnings. It indicates that the action about to be performed implies making a decision that causes a certain consequence or other things. And the green, that is the success and confirmation messages that an action has been performed correctly. Then, in text, the color can be used to highlight phrases and words that can be typed. For example, a function of coloring text is to assign hierarchy to content. Complementary informations can be highlighted or minimized depending on the color used. Then you can use it in backgrounds. The background color must be in the line with the color chosen for the typeface, since a minimum contrast is necessary for reasons of legibility and access. It's to create an harmony in the visual design. Then, in interactive elements, it is possible to resort to a color as the answer to our feedback on concrete actions of the user, an option that many times is not taken into consideration but is selected or tape elements like buttons and rows can be highlighted as colors indicate. And another is in headers. This is for highlight the besides as the main element. The color is to it must be in complete harmony with the background and other elements on the screen so it could be more attractive to the user. And then the default colors. Android and Windows Phone use themes that affect the color of their apps and that can be light or dark. In Windows, for example, the choice of available themes is left to the user who can modify the interface of display of the entire iOS. There is like colors like white or black or blue in some instance. And then the language. The language is very important for the visual design because it's an app full of places for text. In headers, titles, buttons, error messages, and empty screen notice, it needs a language. So, for example, it's a textual and visual language go hand in hand to create a user experience that is consistent in all senses. For example, the wrong word. At the beginning, how a phrase is formulated is often overlooked, even though it has a different influence on the way the user utilizes and relates to the app. The receiver is for messages and like messages that the app needs to communicate to the user, and it's very important that the user can find the language that he knows to have a better experience.
What are the things that difference an average app from a great one? It consists in three steps. First, the empty screens. What are the screens when you are new in the app or all the information can fill the screen of the app. Then we have the infographics. What are? There are the symbol on the charging pages, like when you are sharing a video, on a photo, etc. Finally, we have the visual sequence. Are actions that only pass with a specific action, like when you recharge the page on goal and appears three color bars on the top of the screen. Then we have the animating the app. It's divided in four stages. First, the feedback. There is when a specific action are showed by an animation on the screen. Then the transitions that are used to make more fluid the experience of the user. In the middle, we have the informative tools that are especially important when you are using the app, and they show you how to use them. Then the pure visual candy, that are only things that make the app look good, so the user, if they don't know, could download it.